Hi, class. It's good to see you. No, I'm not in Florida. I have a background that looks like a palm tree, and I'm in my bedroom. Anyway, we're going to do math today, lesson 87, and we're going to do, first we're going to do the flashcard for today. And the flashcard word for today is tenths place. Okay, tenths place, not tens, tenths place, tenth place, with a THS at the end. The tenth place is the first place to the right of the decimal point. A decimal point, anything to the right of the decimal point is going to be less than the number 1. It's going to be less than a whole number. It's going to be a part of a number. And the tenths place is 1 part of 10 equal parts. So you'll see on my whiteboard here that you see the number 4.2. 4 is in the ones place, and it's a whole number. Then you have your decimal point, which indicates that you're going to have a number smaller than 1 to the right of it. And this number to the right of it is 2 tenths. And we can write 4 and 2 tenths two ways. We can write it 4.2, or we can write it as a fraction, which would be 4 and 2 tenths. We can also write it as a word. If we write it as a word, you have to remember to write and for the decimal point. So you can write 4 and 2 tenths, tenths with a THS. Okay? And the other places after the tenths place are the hundredths place and the thousandths place. But for your flashcard for today, you're going to do the tenths place, which is 1 part of 10, and it's less than 1, and it's the first place to the right of the decimal point. Okay, so today we are going to do a real quick lesson on multiplying 2-digit numbers to 2-digit numbers. The first example I'm going to show you is 34 times 12. Now, one way that you can do this problem is you can expand 12 and you can multiply 34 times 2 and 34 times 10. You'll see that 2 plus 10 is 12. So let's do 34 times 2. 34 times 2 is going to be 4 times 2 is 8. And 3 times 2 is 6, which is 68. And 34 times 10 is multiplying by a multiple of 10. So you're just going to add a 0 to 34 times 1. You're going to have 340. You're going to add both of these numbers that you got from the expanded form of 12. 8 plus 0 is 8. 6 plus 4 is 10. You put a 0 in the tens column, carry the 1 over to the hundreds, and your answer is 408. Okay? But there's an easier way to get this answer. And the way that you can do it, there's several ways, or several methods actually, for multiplying 34 times 12. So the first thing we're going to do is you're going to look at the bottom number of your two-digit number that you're multiplying to your two-digit number, you're going to look at the ones place. And you're going to multiply the ones place on the bottom to the ones place on the top number. So let's do that. 2 times 4 is 8. Okay. Now the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take the number in the ones place on the bottom number, the ones, and the number in that ones place. You're going to multiply it to the top number's tens place. So that's 3. So 2 times 3 is 6. And really, you're multiplying 2 times 30. But when you do the multiplication like this, you're just going to say 2 times 3 is 6. Now, you're finished with the ones column. You multiplied all the top numbers by the ones column. Now, let's just do a check there to show that we did. Now you're going to go to the tens column. Okay, let's change colors. Go to green. Okay, so now you're going to multiply the tens columns, but the tens column to the upper, to the two-digit number on top. The first thing you're going to do, though, is you're going to put a placeholder. You're going to put 0 in your ones place because you just finished multiplying everything in your ones place, and you don't need to multiply anything else there. So put a 0 in your ones place. Let's move over to your tens place. Now, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to multiply the number in the tens place on the bottom, which is 1, times the number in the ones place and the top number. So it's 1 times 4 is 4. And now you're going to multiply the 10 to the 10. The number in the tens place on the bottom to the number in the tens place on the top, which is 1 times 3, and it equals 3. And now we're going to add. So 8 plus 0 is 8. 6 plus 4 is 10. Put a 0, carry your 1, and it's 408. And you see it's the same answer that you got when you expanded it out over here. Okay? All right. So let's go to the next example. In fact, I think what we'll do is we will go to the first practice set. So go to your practice set and go to A for your practice set. And I'm going to give you a chance to get set up, get some paper to write on, or a whiteboard. You can do it either way. And of course, I can't see you put your whiteboard up, but I'm going to give you a chance to, I'm going to give you about a minute to do the first problem after I write it down, or you can see it in your book and just start it. We're going to multiply for letter A, we're going to do 32 times 23. Okay. Now, I'm going to give you about 1 minute, and we'll just wait while you're working. I'll draw a smiley face up here. Hi. Okay. About 1 minute. Don't forget to start with your ones column on the bottom and multiply your ones column on the top, and then go from your ones column on the bottom to your tens column on the top. Put your placeholder 0 on the column below on the column below the answer you got for your ones column, and then you're going to go, you're going to multiply tens column to ones column on the top, and then tens column to tens column. Okay, is everybody ready? Let's do this thing. Okay, so we're going to start. Let's see if you got the same answer that I will get. 2 times 3 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, now we've completed our ones column. Let's put our 0 placeholder. Now, let's go to the tens column. 2 times 2 is 4. And 2 times 3 is 6. Let's add it together. 6 plus 0 is 6. 9 plus 4 is 13. Carry your 1. 1 plus 6 is 7. And you have 736. Did you get 736? If you did, that is correct. Okay. I'm going to skip to E. I'm going to skip to E. I'm going to go back and give you the answers for B, C, and D. If you've already worked, you can work those afterwards. Let's start with E. E is 32 times 32. 32 times 32 can also describe this as 32 squared. And a number that is squared is a number that you multiply to itself however many times this exponent tells you to. This exponent tells you how many times to multiply it. It's telling you to multiply 32 twice, and you are 1, 2. So let's just do this one together. Okay. So let's start. We start at the ones column on the bottom number. We go the ones column to the ones column. So bottom to top. 2 times 2 is 4. We go bottom. We go ones column to tens column on the bottom. So it's 2 times 3 is 6. Okay, so we finished the ones column. Give it a check. You don't really have to do that, but I'm giving it a check so you'll know that I'm through with it. Now we're going to go to the tens column, but before you start multiplying the number in the tens column on the bottom to the number on the top, you need to put a 0 for your placeholder in the ones column under your 4, under your ones column. Okay, so now you're going to multiply your tens column to your ones column. 3 times 2 is 6. And then you're going to multiply your tens column to your tens column, which is 3 times 3 is 9. All right, let's add it together. Okay, 4 plus 0 is 4. 6 plus 6 is 12. 1 plus 9 is 10. So 32 squared, or 32 times 32 is, I'm going to fix that 0 there. It's 1,024. Okay, that is your answer. All right. Okay, so for the next ones, I'm just going to write the problems, and I'll give you time to do the B and the C. So let me clear this. I'm going to write B. B is 23 times 32. And C is 43 times 12. Okay. Okay. I'll let you guys work on it. Don't forget the pattern that when you multiply 2-digit numbers to 2-digit numbers, you start with the number on the bottom and you go from 1 to 1, the ones column to the ones column on the top, the ones column to the tens column on the top, and you multiply it. So it's, I'm not going to say it yet, but I will in just a minute. Give you another minute, another couple of seconds. How are you guys doing? Doing good? Okay. All right, so let's work through this. You can turn your video off for a second if you're not through working the problem, and then you can come back and watch me work the problem to see if you got it right. Okay? So go ahead and turn it off for a second, and then you can turn it back on. Okay, so let's do B. 23 times 32. So start in the ones column. You're going to go 2 times 3 is 6. and then that's in the ones column. And you're going to go from the ones to the tens. 2 times 4 is 2. Sorry, 2 times 2 is 4. Okay, so you did the ones column. Now let's do the tens column on the bottom. Multiply the tens to the number on top. But first, your placeholder 0 goes in your ones column. Move over to your tens, your number of the tens spot, the tens place on the bottom. Multiply 3 times 3. Your tens to your ones column. 3 times 3 is 9. You're going to go from the 10 to the 10 column on top. 3 times 2 is 6. Let's add it. 6 plus 0 is 6. 4 plus 9 is 13. Carry your 1. 1 plus 6 is 7. 736. Did we see that number before? We sure did see that number before. We saw that number, and that answer, that sum is what an answer to an addition problem is. We saw that answer when we multiplied 32 times 23. And do you see that order does not matter? Order does not matter. I'll do that very quickly so you can just see. So you see the answers are the same. The order was flipped, but the numbers are the same. The numbers are the same, it's just that they're flipped in order. So, but the answer to the sum, which is the answer to an addition problem, is the same. Okay, let's do C. Okay, start in the ones column. 2 times 3, we're going from the bottom to the top. 2 times 3 is 6 in the ones column. Then we're going to the ones column to the tens column. 2 times 4 is 8. Okay, you did the ones column. Okay, now we're going to the tens. Add your placeholder 0 in the ones column. Then go to the tens column on the bottom. 1 times 3 is 3. And 1 times 4 is 4. Let's add it together. 6 plus 0 is 6. 8 plus 3 is 11. Put 1 in your tens column. Put 1 in your hundreds column. 1 plus 4 is 5. The answer is 516. Did you get 516 for C? If you did, got it right. Very good. Okay. We already did E, so let's do F. F is 22. 22 times 14. Okay, 22 times 14 is F. All right. So what do we do first? Start at our ones column. 4 times 2 is 8. And make sure, you can stop the video. Like I said, you can stop the video before I start working it. So I'm not going to write the whole answer out yet, but you can stop it. Do 22 times 14 and then come back and see if you did it right. Okay? All right. Okay. I'm going to start solving the problem, and you can see if you got it right. 2 times 4 is 8. Start in the ones column. 4 times 2 is 8. Okay, so we did the ones column. We went from ones to ones column and from ones to tens column. Okay, now we are going to do the tens column. We put our 0 placeholder in the ones column when we start multiplying the tens column to the upper number, upper 2-digit number. So 1 times 2, which is the tens column, the ones column, is 1 times 2 is 2. And 1 times 2 from the tens to the tens column is 2. Okay, let's add it. 8 plus 0 is 8. 8 plus 2 is 10. Put 0 in the tens column. Carry your 1 to the hundreds column. And you should have 1 plus 2 is 3. And your answer should be 308. Did you get 308 for F? You did? Good. Good. If not, keep practicing because we are going to do another problem. We are going to do 13 times 32. So let me change colors. Blue. We're going to do 13, and this is G. We're going to do 13. Let me start that over. No. Okay. We are going to do 13 times 32. Okay. All right. Let y'all work on it. Turn off the video and then turn the video back on and see if you got it right. Okay? All right. I am going to start. Okay. All right, so we're going to start with the ones column. We're going to start with the ones column. 2 times 3. We're going to go from the ones column to the ones column. 2 times 3 is 6. We're going to go from the ones column to the tens column on top. 2 times 1 is 2. Okay, so we did the ones column. Now, let's do the tens column. But before we start, we've got to put our placeholder 0. Change colors. Put our placeholder 0 down here in the ones column. Because we finished the ones column, let's go to the tens column. 3 times 3, we go to the 3 in the tens column to the 3 in the ones column on top. 3 times 3 is 9. And then we go from the tens column to the tens column on top. 3 times 1 is 3. Now we're going to add it. 6 plus 0 is 6. 2 plus 9 is 11. 1 in the tens column and carry 1 over to the hundreds. 1 plus 3 is 4. 416 is your answer. Did you get 416? I bet you did. You guys are pretty smart and you're pretty quick. And if not, we're going to keep working on it. We have one more practice problem before you do your mixed practice. Let's see, let's clear this. Last problem. Okay, last problem is 33 times 33. And this is actually H. This is H. Okay, 33 times 33 is also called, can also be called 33 squared. Okay, give you a minute. You have more than a minute. I mean, you can turn the video off and work the problem for however long it takes, and then just turn the video back on and see if you got the problem right. Okay? You guys are doing really good. Really good. Okay? All right. Let's go. Turn the video off and then turn the video on, and we're going to do the answer. Okay, let's work this problem. Start with the ones column on the bottom. We go from the ones column on the bottom to the ones column on the top. 3 times 3 is 9. We go from the ones column on the bottom to the tens column on the top. 3 times 3 is also 9. There's a lot of 9s in this answer. Okay, so we did the ones column. Now, let's switch over. Let's do green. We're going to switch over to the tens column. But before we start multiplying the tens column to the ones in the tens column on top, we're going to put our placeholder 0 in the ones column, okay, because you've already multiplied everything in the ones column on the bottom. So let's go to the tens column on the bottom. 3 times 3 is, go from the tens column on the bottom to the ones column on top, and 3 times 3 is 9. More 9s. Then we go from the tens column on the bottom to the tens column on the top, and we have 3 times 3 is also 9. A lot of 9s. Okay, let's add this. Okay, 9 plus 9. Sorry, 9 plus 0 is 9. Whoopsie. 9 plus 9 is 18, so you're going to put 8 in the tens column, and you're going to carry 100 over to the hundreds column, so 1 plus 9 is 10. And your answer is 1,089. And 33 squared is equal to 1,089. Okay, you guys did great. If you haven't already done your fact practice G for today, which is 64 multiplication facts, do that. If you've already done it, great. Start your mixed practice. Mixed practice today, we are doing evens. Okay, evens only. Okay, all right. And enjoy your day. And I miss you a whole lot, and I can't wait to get back to class with you. But for right now, we can enjoy each other's company over the internet. And so I will see you soon. God bless you. I love you guys so much. And I'm going to draw you a big smiley face right there. Hi, bye guys. Love you.